You know what it is. It's the king himself. Since 93 Sports. Like, comment, subscribe. Since 93 Sports, back with another one. I wanted to do a video on the black mentality growing up. I was listening to O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel. It's a good channel. You should go ahead and check it out. And they were doing a video about the 444 album and what Jay-Z was talking about in that album. And I think he did some good topics. And it's a little bit too late because his influence isn't there with the youth as it would have been, say, back in 2001 through 2004 when he was at his highest influence to the youth. He got more power now, but his influence towards the youth isn't like it was. Talking about generational wealth and putting money back for retirement. I think that's good, but it's kind of hard to get out of that mentality, because growing up, anybody who grew up black, the whole stigma, when you're going through school, it's almost not cool, to be smart, going to, being around your friends and stuff. The guys that's, studying, getting good grades, them's the kids that's laughed at, and, nobody wants to be around. Or if they want to be around them, it's just for them to, do your homework or something. It ain't cool to be, smart. I got my own experience, things that I look back on, that I regret, looking back, half those guys that, you was trying to fit in with, you don't know them now, and, a lot of people know that now, it would be a whole lot different. Just like back in, elementary school all the way through middle school, I played the clarinet and I played the French horn. But when I went to high school, I stopped, being in band because it wasn't cool, to be in the band. And that's a fine art. I wish I would have, held on to that. That's a skill. Being able to play an instrument, the coordination, that goes into doing it, that's something you would need in life. You working your brain, being able to play. Now, I don't even know the basic notes. I used to know all that stuff by heart, and it just wasn't cool, so I think, we as, black parents need to, instill a different mentality, because it's a lot of people going through school, and it takes years and years after they leave, high school to actually mature and realize what's important, and, I might have just now start, looking into generational wealth and, being able to put something back for your kids and, realizing, what the system is like. But, a lot of, kids that's even my age, would laugh at that. It ain't cool to them to think about that. But a lot of it is your mentality, but some of it you just can't follow everything you hear, just because you hear them talking about selling drugs, doing all that stuff. You can rap the rap, but you ain't gotta live it. You know what I'm saying? Just like J. Cole, he said these rappers, he said something like, basically, these rappers are talking about being in the trap when they on vacation at the beach, and you trying to live what they talking about, getting locked up, and they somewhere on the beach somewhere. But I don't know, that's kind of how I feel. And another thing, I feel like the whole situation with the protesting, I kind of see both sides. I see why a guy who's making all this money would try to steer away from the protesting. And that's understandable in my opinion. The only issue, the main issue that I have a problem with is, okay, if you're not gonna do the protest, that's fine, but then don't turn around and condemn the guys that want to stand up instead of being quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's when you become what some people would call a coon. You know, it's cool if you don't want to be involved in it. That's cool. But then when you turn around and try to condemn the guys who standing up, and being proud, that's what it's a situation. I can understand why it don't make it right, but I understand. But then when you turn around and condemn other people for that, that's the whole situation.